that I respected a lot what the answer to this one is, but I'm going to ask you. When you think about the real objective of a project manager, going back to that loop, what is their actual mission, so that we can bring
Uh,
it home for the listeners?
okay, so the actual mission is
Yeah.
I'd go back to the book by Patrick Lencioni, Five Dysfunctions of a Team, and a quote in there that says, if you could get all of the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, under any conditions, at any time. If you could get everyone, the PM's job is to get everyone headed in the same direction. If he could do that, you'll build any project under any circumstances, ever gets thrown at you at any time. That's my opinion. That, in my opinion, that is his number one job.
I love that, and kudos to you for pronouncing his name right. I always get that wrong. Um,
That takes a lot of practice to get that right, especially for an
yeah,
Aussie.
because
All right, mate of mine sent me this yesterday. This forwarded me this email. I've never read any of this late stuff, but what it says here at the start of the email is absolutely spot on. I have to do a little bit more research on him. We have passed the point of experimentation. In 2025, if 2025 was the year AI became real, 2026 is the year that AI becomes operational. The conversation has shifted. You go and check out, if you want the link to this, let me know. There's a podcast that goes with this. And Antonio Rodriguez and I confirmed in a global survey that the value of AI is no longer hypothetical. It is visible, measurable, and actionable. Day 63 of 90. Visible, measurable, actionable. We're doing it every day using AI as a debrief. As when I put this post up today, would I actually say that I was going to tell you, because I just want to make sure this is not about AI is wonderful, AI can do this and AI can do that. This is using it. This is the actionable part of it. I just want to repeat the quote for you, because if this resonates, then, and you want me to help you work with your team to do this, then reach out. Attend this live if you want to see how I'm actually, just let now interwebs come up here. Why are you doing that? I'm watching myself at the minute. I haven't got the quote in front of me there, but I'm sure you've got it. If you want to see how to do this on a day-to-day basis, this is not something that's coming in the future. I'm boiling by trade. Also a PM. This is happening now. I'm doing this with sites right now. And I ain't at the forefront of what's going on. This is just what I'm doing. It's no longer about what can this tool generate, but about how does this tool execute. And that changes the way we think, decide, and act as project managers. Number one thing that I speak to that we need to change, that we do as project managers, is stop calling ourselves project managers. We're project delivery people. Project managers sit at the top of the hierarchy, everyone underneath them. That's not the way it works. Project manager, project delivery person is a support function of everyone that's required to deliver the project. We need to change the way we think, the way we speak, and the way we execute, the way that we deliver projects. AI is the tool that will help us do that. All right, so I said no theory. What we're going to actually do is go through and show you how we use this beast. If you haven't watched any of the previous ORCA lives, there is 62 of them. You can go back and watch now, so you can pick up what I'm putting down here. Actually, what we're going to do is, during this series, I've created 2 wingmen. So one runs me through the ORCA process, which is a debrief process at the end of the day. The other one's available on Claude, and just message me the words Flex Wingman, which is Flex is a planning process, a 6-step planning process. It's not about sitting in an office for days, hours, weeks, whatever people sit inside and plan for. Short, sharp planning. Plan in place, execute, debrief. Did we do it? Did we not do it? Let's have a look at, and flick across to, just make sure we got the right thing up here, and have a look at the Flex Wingman. So I haven't used this I've been slack with this because I have 2 types of goals. I've replaced the word priority. Don't like it because people give themselves, if you've got a heap of priorities, then you have no priority. I have either a primary objective that I'm chasing or it's secondary. If it's not on the primary list, it ain't getting prioritised. Okay, let's go down here and go, where's our little mate? Here he is. Click in here. This is a new shift. Oh, it's not working. Why not working? FN to start dictating. New shift. It is Sunday, 25th of January 2026. Let's see what he does. Transcribe poorly for a start. New shift. It is Sunday, 25th of January. Let's see what he does. Because I was supposed to do this weekly and I haven't. So I'm interested to see, did ORCA run yesterday? Yes. This is stepping me through the process. So you guys don't need to sit there and think about, what did Boney say about Flex again? How do we run this? Oh, we do that bit first. No, we don't talk about mission first, we talk about objective first. No, we do the ORCA first. No, AI steps them through the process. This is how we incorporate it as that tool that they're talking about that helps us deliver on a daily basis. What must exist at the end of the next 7 days? One sentence, observable and binary. Exist, does not exist. One sentence must exist at the next 7 days. There must be, we must have done 7 live streams. Now it's working. Now it's cooking with gas now. What could realistically delay this mission this week? Time leakage, context switching, over-design, tool friction, energy recovery, public commitment pressures. I've had a lot of work with clients this week, so that needs to be factored into it. If there's any technical issues like I had when I was away in Melbourne, that needs to get factored into it. What else could delay the mission this week? Losing focus and not tracking what I'm doing are all things that could put me off this week, off the mission this week, make the mission fail. So what it's actually doing is looking for the failure points. We're doing what they call a pre-mortem. What could actually go wrong? I haven't used this tool a lot, so it's not as slick as when I'm doing the ORCA, but this tool's pretty freaking good if you want to get access to it. Step 3, identify available resources. What resources are already available this week? So I'll block out an hour every morning to do the lives. I block out 15 to 20 minutes in the afternoon to run the ORCA session, and I've actually incorporated the work that I do with my wingman into my daily live sessions so that I've compressed that time. I have prompts already created and I have wingmen that are already created, i.e. you being one of them that stepped me through this process. So that's the existing tools and documents. Energy patterns is I'm working on the gym with my son who's an EP and PT. I make sure that I get enough sleep. That's a big part of what I do every day. Everyone talks about their morning routine. It's actually the evening routine that's more important than the morning routine. What's going on here? I didn't hold that. All right. So I've got protected time in the morning when I do my lives. I've actually incorporated the work that I do with the GPTs and my wingman into actually doing the lives. So I'm demonstrating for people what I do. It's the old Frank Kern thing, right? If you want to show people how you can help them, show them how you can help them live. They can see how this tool gets used on a live site. So the existing documents and tools that I've got are the GPTs that I've, and the likes of yourself that I've created with Claude. What's known as a wingman. So you help guide me through the process. I don't have to think about how the flex process actually runs. I just come and I start a new shift with you and you walk me through it start to end. The exact same thing happens with ORCA. From previous similar efforts, what caused delays, what accelerated momentum, what must not repeat? What caused delays was I've had technical issues when I'm not at home, when I'm on the road. So I probably need to, on the road, be prepared to do the live streaming from my phone, which I can do. I'll just carry a mic with me to just do that. What's accelerating it is because I've now well into the process. I'm on like day 63 of 90, which is 70% done with the ORCA process. A lot of it's very automatic now. I don't even have to think about it, what I have to do. I haven't done a lot of these. Well, that's why this isn't flowing as smoothly as what my sessions normally would. But as I build the reps up, as we do this more and more, this will get better and better. What must not repeat is I did a thinking time session with one of my GPTs yesterday, and we come up with a line which I don't have with me just here at the moment, but what I've got to not do is justify to people the time that it takes me to get a result, because I can do it so quickly because I've done my reps so many times. So I've got to get away from that time for effort thinking. I cannot let that repeat. I have to get away from that. I have to be 100% confident when I present to people, this is what I'm going to do and this is what it's going to cost. What's that doing? Why is that not posting? Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And it's really annoying when it doesn't. I don't know what's going on, but sometimes Whisper isn't working when I speak to you. So what's caused delays before is the fact that technical issues when I'm on the road, but I'm not on the road this week. What's accelerated momentum is the amount of reps that I've done. So I've got to the point now where we've done 63 reps of the ORCA process. It's like second nature. I just walk straight through it. This one's a little bit more clunky. Takes a little bit longer to go through because I haven't done so many of this. And the lesson that I must not repeat was come out of a thinking time session that I did with my GPT yesterday, where we spoke about the fact that I have to stop looking at the time. Well, when I stop looking at time for effort, I start looking at the outcomes that I would produce. He gave me two sensational quote, which is, my value is in the outcome that I make inevitable, not the effort or the busy work that I demonstrate. I need to make sure that I don't fall into that trap. So I use a little app called, I think it's Whisper, to do this with Claude. This is what I don't normally do with Claude Live, because Claude doesn't have voice to text conversion like ChatGPT does. But this is the workaround. But sometimes when you've got multiple pieces of technology working together, it doesn't always work exactly the way you want. Develop the course of action, translate the mission into a 1 week execution plan, 5 weekly deliverables, maximum 5, workday outputs, 1 per day, time box 50 minutes, that's the default, do not plan by line the week. Okay, so the weekly deliverable this week is I need to lock in 3 meetings with potential clients. And the workday output is the live stream every day. The time box, as you say, is default. This is just to get me through the next week. Top 1 to 3 planning contingencies. For the top 1 to 2 threats, what's the observable trigger? What is the pre-decided response? So the trigger is, if I'm traveling, I need to have the plan in place to be able to switch to my phone if I can't get decent coverage to live stream from my computer, my laptop. That's the pre-decided response. We're going to live stream from my phone. Just go to YouTube, because this is about keeping the stream intact, and I've never had YouTube fail. So we're going to go to that. Sometimes I've had LinkedIn fail, but not YouTube. Oh, why are you doing this? This is getting frustrating. What is the observable? Are you recording? And why not? Right, now we're recording. So the observable trigger is if I'm traveling. I'm not traveling this week. The pre-decided response is, or the observable trigger is, if I do have to actually travel, then I'm going to, as a default, use YouTube, live stream to YouTube, because I don't actually have to live stream to LinkedIn. That's not a requirement of what I need to get done, but I have to have a live stream up, and YouTube's the one that's never failed. Execute. So he'll drop me out a plan now. Obviously, we could have done that a lot better than what we just did, but this is early. It's only our first couple of reps. You could run this with your team. Your team could come in and do their planning for the week with the AI, exactly like we've done here. Today's actions. Mission critical output for today, 50-minute time box. Complete 1 live stream demonstrating GPT window workflow. Specific action, set up YouTube live stream, default platform, no technical risk. Run live demonstration showing the Flex Wingman or ORCA in action. Show viewers how the tool works in real time. Frank Kern style. Demonstrate value by doing it. Complete stream within the time box. Mark day 1 of 7 complete. Observable triggers. If technical issues occur, switch to YouTube immediately, not LinkedIn. If energy is depleted from client work, stick to 50-minute time box. Delivery outcome, not effort. End of day, verification, 1 live stream completed and publish. End shift. End. Right, so that is how you use the Flex Wingman. Let's go to ORCA. ORCA's my go-to process and will flow a lot better than that. This is how you get your teams aligned. Running their meetings the same way. Actual decent agendas, people speaking to issues, removing obstacles. We're going to speak to this tomorrow. We talk about SMART goals. Everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people use SMART goals. It's been the go-to goal setting method for years and years and years. Just reading a book on it at the moment. I study the game. I'm a student of the game. That's why I'm getting so good at this. SMART goals was written by someone writing an article about what a good way to set goals. There's no science behind it. Neuroscience has moved miles in front of where we were when we set SMART goals. There's a lot smarter ways to be setting goals these days, and in fact, SMART goals can actually be quite detrimental to how you set your goals. What we're going to have a look at tomorrow is intention versus urgency, which is what we've got with most of our teams and why most of them can't get any traction heading in the same direction. You always hear them saying, this is urgent. We need this ASAP. I've got a priorities list. It's on my to-do list. And they get lost in the sunk cost effect. You want to move them out of this corner down here, choosing their own adventure and chaos, which is what that drives our 90% of our non-value added activity, or we want to move them to up the top here, increase this 10% where our value added activity comes from, comes from, we use an outcome goal, we use a process goal. We obliterate objectives. Lost the O word. Things that get in our road, obstacles. We obliterate them on a regular and daily basis. We track our rate of progress and we tie it to our values. That's how you set a goal based on neuroscience, or real science, not the nonsense that smart goals are. Okay, ORCA, funnily enough, and Flex does all of that for us. New shift. It is Sunday, 25th of January 2026. So we run that flex process, that claw one at the start of the shift, gives us our plan for the week. We do a quick update on that every morning. In the afternoon, we run the ORCA. So how did we go? Did we actually achieve our mission, or did we not? What we said we we're going to do. This is a home ORCA. Transcription's bad today. And the internet's not great either. Which is why I have backup plans. Contingencies. Which come from doing risk assessments. I think it's one about 6 or something like that, or of the 12 causes of project failure, is lack of continuing risk assessment. Binary only, did the live happen today? Yes, it's currently in progress. See if I can pull that Douglas Adams quote up for you. Yesterday's 3 must-do tasks. Verify full kit before the first task. Write a physical Kanban ticket. Run the daily live. All 3 were complete. Why did you? Step 1, objective today. State the one objective. The one objective today was to get the live stream done. That's it. Binary factual. Yes, the objective was achieved. Again, this is the wingman just stepping it through the process. I don't have to think about this. I have to remember what's O stand for, what's R stand for, what causes are we supposed to be talking about, what actions are we supposed to do. Identify what created the result, behaviours, decisions. It's just, that's my daily behaviours now. I get up when I jump into ChatGPT on my phone, always go and check what tasks need to be executed for the day. Live stream's just a given. It's just a matter of deciding what time during the day that I'm actually going to run it. And I've planned my day before I started. I've got a Kanban ticket up on the board that tells me what I need to get done. The constraints are removed by the fact that I have these processes in place and I have a process goal, which is to run ORCA every day for 90 days. Wingman, I have multiple. I use a wingman basically for everything. I use a wingman for writing prompts. I use a wingman to write my LinkedIn posts, which I'm going to use live now. And so that's another constraint removed. It's not that I have to sit here and come up with content before I do my live. I can just run my live. Douglas Adams quote. I've come up with a set of rules that describe our reactions to technologies. 1. Anything that's in the world when you're born is normal and ordinary and just a natural part of the way that the world works. 2, anything that's invented between when you're 15 and 35 is new and exciting, revolutionary, and you can probably get a career in it. This is where the over 35s are really struggling right now. Anything invented after you're 35 is against the natural order of things, which is exactly what we're seeing everywhere in the world. A lot of the problems that we've got going on at the moment are driven by the fact of so much uncertainty of what's going to happen next with this beast called artificial intelligence. Step 4, actions for tomorrow. Before I set tasks, I must confirm the calendar branch. Tomorrow is a weekday. However, here's a curveball for you. It's a public holiday. See what it does. And probably ask me what I want to do. Good catch, and thank you for flagging it before tasks were set. That's exactly how this stays tight. We treat it as a special branch, not a mistake. Calendar branch, tomorrow, Monday, 26th of January. Type, weekday. Context, public holiday. Mode, holiday mode, distinct from weekend, lighter than a weekday. No outreach, no selling, no heavy building. Daily live remains non-negotiable. So we could set this GPT up if we're on site on the weekends and we've got people on 5-2 rosters when we don't need to go, there's some stuff that we don't need to go through on the weekend that we'd normally do during the week. We can tell it, hey, it's a weekend. Leave this, this and this out, which is exactly what I've done with this GPT as I've trained it. Monday holiday mode, day 64 of 93, must do tasks locked in tight, verify full kit, physical Kanban ticket, run the daily live. That's it, holiday respected, identity protected, daily live protected. Now we proceed as normal, daily execution index. 3 from 3. This thing's really, really good at recognizing patterns. And what's going to happen in your meetings as you're running them through your GPT, you're going to be able to go back at the end of a week and say to it, what patterns are emerging? What happens on a Monday that happens every single week? What happens on a Tuesday, Wednesday? What happens on the weekend? Do we do our ORCA every day? Do we skip our flex planning on a Friday because people are flying out? Can see where the bad habits or the standards start to slip and the bad habits creep in. ORCA complete, day 63 and 90 closed. ORCA streak intact, 3 from 3. Kanban's written, full flex ORCA, candle under handling, public holiday. Tomorrow, Monday 26. Public holiday mode, 3 must do tasks. This block is your morning reference, daily live protected, day closed. You've skipped a step. You want to tell me what it is? See if he picks it up or he doesn't pick it up. You've skipped a step. You need to tell me what it is. He'll do a bit of thinking here and go back and see if he can find it. If not, that's the step. No visual loop today. Let's see if he puts the task back down the bottom again like he's supposed to. He did. Right, so we are done. Let me repeat. I haven't got that photo. What we said at the start. We've passed the point of experimentation. If 2025 was the year AI became real, 2026 is the year AI becomes operational. The conversation has shifted. The value of AI is no longer hypothetical. It's visible, measurable, and actionable. It's no longer about what can this tool generate, but about how does this tool execute. And that changes the way we think, decide, and act as project managers. as I said to Jason in the video at the start from that podcast that we did, the project PM's job is to keep everyone heading in the same direction. Oh, I had a really good question for you. So the question is, I put this up earlier and I missed it. Skipped a step in the process. What would change on your project if AI kept everyone aligned day to day instead of you chasing updates, reports, and meetings? Take it, use it, make it a great week. Remember, tomorrow we're going to talk about goals. Smart goals aren't really serving us anymore. How far has neuroscience moved? And how do you take advantage of it? Speak soon.
This is a big one, and I've asked a project executive that I respected a lot what the answer to this one is, but I'm going to ask you. When you think about the real objective of a project manager, going back to that loop, what is their actual mission, so that we can bring it home for the listeners?
Okay, so the actual mission is I'd go back to the book by Patrick Lencioni, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and the quote in there that says, if you could get all of the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, under any conditions, at any time. If you could get everyone, the PM's job is to get everyone headed in the same direction. If he could do that, you'll build any project under any circumstances, ever gets thrown at you at any time. That's my opinion. In my opinion, that is his number one job.
I love that, and kudos to you for pronouncing his name right. I always get that wrong.
I took a lot of practice to get that right, especially for an Aussie.
Yeah, because